1 year of hard work transformed me from broke to wealth. I used to sleep in my car, and that wasn't even the worst part. I still remember that night like it was yesterday. The air was cold enough to bite through my jacket, and I was hunched over in the driver's seat of my old, beaten up sedan, trying to convince myself that maybe, just maybe, I could get a few hours of sleep before sunrise. I had nowhere else to go. My apartment lease was over, my bank account was laughably empty, and my pride, well, that had evaporated months ago. It all came crashing down faster than I could process. 1 month ago, I had a job, a girlfriend, and a plan, or so I thought. And now, I had none of that. Not even a place to call home. Sleeping in my car wasn't glamorous. It wasn't some edgy, young adult rebellion thing you see on TikTok or Instagram. It was cold, uncomfortable, and humiliating. Every bump in the road jolted me awake. Every passing car reminded me how invisible I had become. How did I get here? Looking back, it wasn't one thing that ruined me. It was a chain reaction of bad choices, toxic people, and my own laziness masked as confidence. I had blown my money on things that didn't matter, fancy dinners I couldn't afford, expensive gadgets I barely used, and clothes that looked better on Instagram than on me. I hung around people who smiled in my face and stabbed me in the back. My girlfriend at the time, let's call her Sarah. She wasn't evil or anything, but she was a constant reminder of what I wasn't. Stable, secure, and enough. One night, I had come home after a long, fruitless day of trying to find a gig online. My bank account was at a level that made me nauseous, just checking it $2.34. Yeah, $2.34. I thought I could scrape by, but when I got back to my apartment, Sarah was packing her things. "Ethan, I can't do this anymore," she said, her voice almost too calm. I remember feeling like the floor had dropped out from under me. "You don't have your life together, and I need stability." I wanted to argue. I wanted to tell her I could change, that I could fix this. But the truth was, I couldn't even fix myself. I had dug a hole, and she was done waiting for me to climb out. The next morning, I had no apartment, no girlfriend, and a bank account that might as well have been zero. I packed what little I owned into my car and drove aimlessly until I found a quiet parking lot where I could crash for the night. I remember staring up at the ceiling of the car and thinking, this is it. This is the lowest I'll ever go, right? But no, life had other plans. Over the next few days, I drifted through a haze of humiliation. I went to a coffee shop, pretending to work on my laptop, hoping no one would notice the wrinkled clothes and the desperation in my eyes. And then it happened. I ran into one of my old friends, a guy I'll call Jason. We had been close once, back in college. Or at least I thought we were. He saw me sitting in the coffee shop, looked me up and down, and laughed. Not quietly, not a chuckle. It was loud, cutting. The kind of laugh that makes your chest ache. "Ethan, is that your car you're living in now?" he asked, smirking. "Damn, man. Thought you'd be rich by now." I wanted to disappear. I wanted to scream. I wanted to punch him. But instead, I nodded awkwardly, muttered something about tough times, and slinked out of the shop, my cheeks burning. That's when it hit me. This isn't just about money. This is about me, my choices, my life. And in that moment, I made a decision. I don't know where the clarity came from. Maybe desperation has that effect, but I decided right then that I was done being a loser. Done being broke. Done being humiliated. Done letting life happen to me instead of me happening to life. I went back to my car that night, curled up on the passenger seat, and wrote something down on a crumpled piece of paper. It was full story link below.